Hello and welcome to this part of video series that's 5 minutes on SQL. My name is Mithilesh and I'll be discussing with you about concepts of SQL, and we'll talk only about 5 minutes. So the reason to put the title says 5 minutes, so each of my videos will be 5 minutes. So in this web series we are going to talk about SQL and its related concepts. So to begin with, what is an SQL? So SQL is a structured query language. A query language is a kind of programming language that's designed to facilitate retrieving specific information from databases. And that's exactly what SQL does. So to put it simply, SQL is the language of databases. So after learning about this particular language was found in early 1970s. So this was the relational model was developed, or the relational model database concept was developed by Edgar Codd. And later on, using that concept, IBM's Donald Chamberlain and Raymond Boyce developed the SQL. So in the market there are different types of database management systems you would have heard about. So it would be MySQL or SQL Server or MS Access or Oracle, Sybase, Infamous, Postgres, and there are a lot of database systems that you have heard about. So these are some of them. And there are, of course, there are no SQL as well. So it means that those are like non-relational databases. So in this particular video series, remember that we are just going to talk about relational database management systems. Okay, so to understand this better, let's walk through what is relational database. So relational database, as the name suggests, is the relation between the two tables or multiple tables. So when there is a relation defined between one table to the other table, so that the data can be retrieved from one table into the other table, that's where those sort of tables or those sort of concept is called as relational database concepts. So for example, let's say you have an ID as a column. In this particular example, I would take just the example on the screen. So in this example, let's say you have an ID as a column, and this ID column is relating to another table which also gives some other information. So in this particular table, as you can see, we only have first name, last name and city, but we do not have the age, or we do not have the profession of these people. So in order to do that, in order to get that, not everything can be inserted into just a single table. So the concept of multiple or dividing this information into multiple tables so that the retrieval time is faster. And because this retrieval time is faster, it makes more sense to use a relational database. Now, talking about the table, you can see in the table there are number 4 columns here, and each column has a single record in it. So for example, the ID has one record, the last name is Trumpet, and the first name is Mike, and the city is Columbia. Of course, now you would think that this concept or this particular information could have been added into a single column, but the reason to put it in a different column is because each of these columns can be linked to some other table, and that information could be useful to retrieve the data as required. So to understand this, there is no significance of the way the sequential information is added to the table. So it can be in a non-sequential format as well. Now herein, as I said, that each row contains one and only one record, and that's the basic concept of a relational database. And you will notice that each of these record only has one data or one record, and each record has its own data type. So for example, the ID has an int data type, or last name has a character data type, and so on. Alright, thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.